Alright, very quickly, I wanted to go over my Gley build. I made a video going over a really quick Pyromaniac kill, doing a pretty nice combo with Gley, so I wanted to make a build guide just so that you can see what a bossing setup for this build might look like. I think it's important for anyone that's interested in playing this character to go over the abilities first so you can understand how they work, so we'll go over them briefly. The first one, her passive. Anytime you kill an enemy, they drop a life sphere. The life sphere is going to heal you for 5% of your HP, and you're going to get 1 power of life charge. You can have a maximum of 10 power of life charges. And Gley has 2 modes, normal mode and berserk mode. So in normal mode, you're actually going to get some healing benefits from these power of life charges. Then her first ability is berserk, which is how you switch from normal to berserk mode. Berserk mode is going to give extra damage to your long range attacks. This seems to be all guns and penetration by 45. Consumes 27% of your maximum HP when you use the ability, and your HP recovery is decreased. Now, I don't really notice a huge effect with this. I don't really have too hard of a time healing, so I definitely don't be concerned by the 60% number. Her second ability is Life Extraction. This is just an AoE blast, where in normal mode it's going to do less damage but apply some debuffing to the enemies, and in Berserk mode it is going to do significantly more damage. It's going to cost 4 power of life to use, and you're also going to get some HP recovery no matter which mode you're in. Her second or third ability, Requiem, is going to consume 25% of your max HP to make a AoE below your feet. In normal mode, this AoE is going to heal you, and in Berserk mode, it's going to give you infinite ammo, meaning you don't have to reload, and it's also not going to use any of your ammo. So you're able to fire infinitely for the duration of this ability. And finally, her fourth ability, or ultimate ability, is Nosferatu, which is going to be a pistol that upon use is going to consume 15% of your max HP, as well as all of your power of life charges. You need at least 3 power of life charges to use this, and those charges are going to be converted to ammo. And in normal mode, this is going to do, I think it still does some damage, but it's also going to stun enemies, and in Berserk mode, it's going to do a ton of damage. And this is where we start kind of getting into the philosophy of Gley as a bosser, and that is because in her Berserk mode with both this and her second ability, we have the line skill attack increased by max HP divided by current HP times 12%. This line is absolutely busted. If you're able to stack enough maximum HP and use this ability on as low of HP as possible, that is how we're hitting absolutely ridiculous damage numbers on bosses. In my video of killing the Pyromaniac, I did have one of the crits, or I think maybe it was just a weak point hit for 202,000 damage. And as you could see in that video, I was firing the pistol, holding down M1, and it was firing insanely quickly. So with this line, we have a couple things to consider when we're actually kitting Gley, and we also need to look at her stat info. So Gley actually has pretty high max HP base and a reasonable amount of defenses, but Gley has absolutely no shield and absolutely no mana. While this may seem like a downside, it's actually kind of a blessing in disguise. This makes it super easy to kit her, and you have to worry about a lot less factors. So in going over the kit, we will talk about that. So first, we have better defense. Increasing your defenses with this character just going to make it feel better, feel like you're not just dying super quickly all the time. Then we have skill integration, which is going to increase our skill attack damage. We have skill extension, which is going to increase our duration. This does seem to work on the infinite ammo pool. So basically you're able to have more duration on that, which is basically going to translate to more damage. Then we have HP amplification. This is going to increase our max HP and reduce our maximum shield, but Since we have no shield, this is only a plus side of increasing our max HP. We have better defense, which is going to increase our max HP. We have MP conversion, which is going to reduce our MP in favor of skill attack. Again, we have no MP, so this is basically just adding skill attack. And then I have on acceleration. There's a variety of cards you could have on this last slot. I don't think cooldown recovery is that necessary on Gley, since any of the abilities that would really be on cooldown, you're not going to be spamming them in any capacity, and the durations or the cooldown normally isn't really that terribly difficult to deal with. If I had any recommendations, it would be to either drop this card and level up some of your other cards or runes, or replace this with something that is more interesting to you, maybe more of a defensive rune, something like that. In the melee slot, I just have dagger. From everything I've seen, there doesn't seem to be any reason to pick one over the other for these melee ones, other than maybe preference. So because dagger was the first one I got, and I sunk a number of levels into it early on, I didn't feel like essentially farming up more currency to invest in a different one, because I don't really use the melee, and I'm really only using it for the extra capacity that it gives you. So that's the build itself, giving us 492% increased max HP, minus MP, minus shield, 78.9% increased defenses, some cooldown recovery, skill attack, and skill duration. So ultimately, this all leads towards the combo. The combo is going to be scaling from our skill attack, and we're going to be scaling our life, because having a massive discrepancy between our maximum life and our current life is going to be giving us a ton of damage. And for those of you that aren't really understanding how that all works, it is exponential. So the closer you are to that 1 life threshold, it's going to get exponentially more damage as you get down to that 1% or that 1 life tick, right? So absolutely crazy to have as much max HP as possible. If you don't have a crazy amount of HP, even if you pull off the combo with a really, really low amount of life, it's not going to feel quite as good, because if someone has twice as much HP as you, they're going to be doing twice as much damage with the same amount of life. So you definitely want to make sure that you are scaling this life as much as you can. And then also the skill attack seems to be very important. All in all, I currently have 11,700 HP on my Gley. And yeah, in the video that I made, we can't see HP numbers, but if I had to estimate, I was probably in the ballpark of, 50 to 100 HP, somewhere in that range. Meaning that if you took this and divided it by that number, that's what's going to be multiplying by that 12% to increase your damage. So I was probably looking at like multipliers of close to 100, which makes sense considering I typically am doing somewhere in the ballpark of 2,000 to 3,000 damage against that boss, and I was doing hundreds of thousands of damage against that boss. Just a quick side note, in terms of the gyro, the health sensor, the HP coil, basically you just want to be putting on as much HP gear as possible. This is what's going to scale our damage. The only other thing you could consider is potentially defense, but I think HP in the long run is going to be your best bet. So I'll link the combo in the description, but just to go over it briefly, the combo is you gain at least 3 power of life charges. You do not need any more than that. You only need 3 to activate the pistol. Then you're going to get yourself as close to 41 to 42% HP. So what ends up happening is when you have the pistol out, or when you use the pistol, it's going to consume 15% of your max HP, and the infinite ammo pool is going to consume 25. So this is totaling to 40. So we really want to get as close as we can to that 40 mark as possible. It can be very hard to tell. It becomes kind of a feel thing. And then what we're going to do is we are going to use the pistol first, since there is no time limit on when you have to shoot the ammo. So we can have the pistol out, We can wait until the boss is no longer looking at us, is distracted by someone else, make sure he's not going to go into an invulnerable phase, and then we drop our infinite ammo pool and immediately just hold down M1 and try to hit the boss in as many weak points as possible. And as long as you do everything right and you're as low of HP as you possibly can be, you will notice that boss health bar going down insanely quickly. Again, most people are probably going to be able to consistently pull this off with maybe somewhere in the 5 to 10% HP region left, and you'll still be doing really respectable damage. When I was doing this, I was getting a ton. Anytime I was fighting a boss and I was in that 5 to 10 range, I would definitely notice that the HP was going down really quickly. But obviously that one Pyromaniac clip that I have, the HP went down insanely fast because I definitely was insanely low on HP, and to pull that off again would be very difficult to get that low again. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about it, if you have any questions about the build, please let me know. If you have any ideas of maybe something that I missed that might be worth checking out, also let me know in the comments. It's kind of hard to test if certain things do and don't work, since we don't really have like a training ground to do anything, and it's also not really too friendly with changing like cards and runes and stuff in the instances. So, but if you have any ideas, please let me know. I think I'm going to try to play Gley a little bit more, try to get the last boss down, maybe min-max the character a little bit more, but for now, hopefully everyone's enjoying the beta, and I'll see you in the next one.